Hi all, and a very happy Mother's Day to all the mothers of Western Union. Before I start my topic, I would really like to thank Western Union and the women's team of Western Union for giving me the opportunity to talk to you about the basics of Ayurveda, how to keep yourself fit, healthy, and how to have a healthy lifestyle. Hi, I'm Dr. Isha Nanal. I'm practicing pure Ayurveda since past 14 years. So today we are going to talk about a few tips, and our topics would be divided into three parts. That would be exercise, meditation, sleep, diet, and some myths. So, Ayurveda not only advocates that you should be given treatment or you should be given medication only when you are ill. It always tells about swasthasya swastha rakshanam. That means to keep the health of healthy. So how to stay healthy and how to continue keeping that, we are going to talk about that today. We are not going to talk about any disease. So first of all, to keep ourselves healthy, exercise is the most important part, or it should be most important part of our daily routine. Ayurveda says that exercise should be done daily. It should be done, if not daily, then 3 to 4 times in a day, in a week. And the indication of exercise is that it should always be half of your body strength. So depending on your strength, if somebody has a strength who can work for 1 hour, so they should work out for half an hour. And the indication that you have a good exercise is when you start getting sweats on your forehead and in your armpit. That is the sign that you have done a good exercise. And in winters you should exercise more, and in summer you should exercise lesser. So you can kickstart your day with Surya Namaskar. If it is always better that if you do the Surya Namaskar with all the mantras, so that also it correlates with your body, and it initiates the inner strength of your body. So 6 to 12 sets of Surya Namaskar, along with that some Bhujangasana, Tadasana, Paschimottanasana, these all help giving strength and firmness to your body, and it also helps in improving the metabolism. So as we talked about physical strength, mental strength also plays a very important role in handling the stress which we face every day, with work pressure, with the work pressure at home, with work pressure at office. It is always necessary for women to keep the balance of their mental of their mind. So meditation also plays an important role. So 5 to 10 minutes of meditation, starting with Anulom Vilom and then some Omkara, definitely gives you a peace of mind and gives you more productivity. Now, if we'll see, Ayurveda is based on 3 pillars, that is Ahar, Nindra and Brahmacharya. So today we are going to talk about the 2 main pillars, that is sleep, that is Nindra, and Ahar, food. So talking about sleep, sleep plays a very important role to give the strength and to give the build to the body. If you want to stay fit physically and mentally, sleep plays a very important role. People, there are researches which have been done which shows that if you do not have a proper kind of sleep, it gives it develops lot of physical and mental disorder. It also hampers your metabolic activity. So sleep is very necessary. So 6 to 8 hours of sleep is very necessary for everybody to have that mental growth and physical growth. Sleep also helps in improving the retention capacity, or to retain things in the brain. So it is always necessary that we always tell to the students also during exams, whatever it may be, that you should get proper sleep before you write your papers, so that whatever you have learned you can retain in your mind. So now there was a proverb which our elders always used to say, that early to bed and early to rise. So You should sleep in proper time. When you start feeling sleepy, you should always go to bed, and maximum 11 p.m. is the barrier. 10 to 11 p.m. you should go off to your bed and then get up at 6 to 7 in the morning. So this 6 to 8 hours of good sleep gives you a good fresh mental strength and physical strength for a new day. If you are deprived of sleep, it develops lot of dryness. Not only I am talking about the external dryness in the body, it also gives dryness to the internal organs of the body, and which leads to multiple disorders. So sleeping at night and a proper sleep is very, very necessary. Then talking about sleeping in day, lot of people have a habit of sleeping in day. Sleeping in day vitiates kapha and pitta of the body, and it also is one of the reason for metabolic disorders, and it gives weight gain also. So it is always advocated that you should not sleep in the afternoon, only you should sleep in the night. But if somebody who is doing lot of physical work, and who is straining their body a lot, are allowed to sleep in the afternoon. Children and old people are also allowed to sleep in the afternoon, because they are in a stage of development, and old people are having that vata stage where their body is degenerating. To regain that degeneration and to initiate regeneration, they are allowed to sleep in the afternoon. In summers, yes, you can sleep in the afternoon because there is lot of heat and dryness in the atmosphere, and along with that the nights are shorter. So the duration of the sleep at night becomes less. So you are allowed to sleep in the afternoon. And those who say that no, we have the habit of sleeping and we have been sleeping since many years altogether, so in that case you should always sleep before your meal. After your work is done, you should take a nap, and then after that you should have your meal. You should never sleep empty, full stomach. You should never sleep after having post your lunch or post your meal, which people generally tend to do. So and if you want to take rest after your meal, you should sit on a chair and you can take a nap, but you should not lie down on the bed and you should take a nap. So that ways, if this way you follow the sleep pattern, this will really help in developing your body. Now shifting on the third point, that food and some myths regarding the food. So food really plays a very, very important role in our daily routine. In that, first we will discuss about water. I have seen lot of people that they have a tendency of drinking 5 to 6 liters of water, and then they say that they really need that much amount of water. So there are some rules about how you should drink the water also. So drinking for 5 to 6 liters of water is not basically necessary for our body, because you do not throw that much amount of water from your body, it retains in your body. So 2 liters of water in summers and 1.5 to 1 liter of waters in winters is what is your body is or how much your body needs, that much water you should drink. Lot of people say no, we feel lot of thirst in our throat. So in that case I always advocate that you should drink water which is lukewarm or hot. So that will help in reducing the dryness in the throat and the quench for the water, excessive amount of water. Even you can go for clove water or coriander seed infused water. This will also help in reducing the thirst or the quench for the excessive amount of water. Now when and how to take water. So water, those who are healthy and fit and they want to maintain the same, they should drink water in between the meals. And those who want to lose weight specifically, they should drink water before their meal. And those who want to gain weight, they should drink water after the meal. So this will help in improving their metabolism, digestion, and maintaining the overall posture and gait of the body. Now the second food item which we are going to discuss is curd. Lot of people, they have a habit of consuming ample amount of curd. So curd, it is sour in taste, it is heavier to digest, and it gives retention in the body, and it is one of the reasons for weight gain. So curd should never be consumed at night, and it should not be consumed every day. Occasionally or once or twice in a week it's okay, and curd should always be consumed in the daytime. And there are few food items curd should not be consumed just like that. It should be always consumed along with moong, some ghee, sugar, jaggery or honey, and or some amla juice. It should not be consumed just like that. Now I've seen lot of patients have a habit of, like, when you want to lose weight, you have a tendency of drinking honey, lukewarm water or hot water and lemon juice. So this combination is very fatal, and you should never consume honey, should be never consumed with hot water. So this combination may give rise to excessive amount of diseases in long run. If you want to lose weight and if you want to consume honey, take a plain glass of water and add 6 to 8 spoons of honey, and you can consume it. Honey and hot water, this combination should never be taken together. Then the third food item is milk. Lot of people have the intolerance to milk. They say that we get loose motion, or we get lot of bloating with the milk. So milk should be always consumed hot. If it is a hot milk or a proper boiled milk, it will never give you bloating. And if you are feeling that you get the bloating thing with milk, add a pinch of sunt, that is dry ginger powder, while boiling the milk. Along with that, add a big full spoon of turmeric with 1 or 2 strands of saffron. And if you want to build an immunity for your old people or even for women also, I always advocate that they should have a 1 big spoonful of Chyawanprash along with this milk. And those who say that they have a problem that they get loose motion after having milk, so what you can do is add half glass milk, half glass water, and you can start consuming that way. It will remove the excessive amount of acids from the body, and gradually you will feel that you can start digesting that milk, and later on you can reduce the quantity of water from your milk, and you can consume the complete full boiled milk on a regular basis. Now Sour is one of the important ingredients of our daily routine. So yes, sour is very important, but using excessive amount of curd, tamarind or yogurt or lemon will definitely will aggravate the pitta from the body, and it can be a reason for premature graying of the hair or hair fall, or even for losing the texture of the skin. So if you want to add sour to your meal, you can add pomegranate powder, or you can add Garcinia, kokum or amsul, what we say in Maharashtra. That can be added to the meal. Though it is sour, it doesn't aggravate the pitta, it balances the pitta or the acid of the body. So it will never give you any acidity problem in long run. Now talking about proteins and sprouts. So a lot of people who are pushing the gym, they go on whey protein, and then they are asked to have a lot of sprouts in their daily meal. So see, every protein which you intake, say it is a chicken protein or it is a mutton protein or it is a fish protein or the proteins from the sprout, it is not assimilated in a similar protein pattern according to how the modern says. Ayurveda says that every food item is assimilated in a different pattern. Some will give rise to vata, some will give rise to pitta, and some will give rise to kapha. So talking about sprouts, sprouts should never be taken raw. it should always be completely cooked, or it should be boiled, or it should be steamed, and then it should be tossed with some spices. Maybe you can give a tadka of ghee, cumin seeds and some hing to it, so it becomes lesser to digest and it doesn't give rise to vata. So never intake sprouts. If you want to have sprouts, let it be completely cooked. Now talking about salt, there are people and who have a tendency to eat lot of salt. So lot of salt again gives rise to increases pitta in the body, so it gives rise to premature graying, then it gives eyesight problem. So always use rock salt. Rock salt is that pink salt or sendhav meat or sendhav namak, what we call. It is good for health. It has low sodium levels and it has some micronutrients like magnesium, copper, zinc and iron, which is good for our body. So if you want to use table salt, always fill rock salt in your table salt bottle. Then other food item which you can incorporate in your daily routine is ginger. Now the other food item which we are going to talk about is ginger. So ginger is it improves your digestion, it is good for your heart, and it reduces the kapha in the body. So it basically helps in improving the complete metabolism. So those who have problem with digestion, we always advocate that have one finger full length of ginger every day in your meal, along with your meal. This will help balance the vata produced in the process of digestion, and it also helps in improving the acid secretions and helping the body in proper digestion. Along with ginger, I always recommend Vajrasana to all my patients, that you should do minimum of 5 minutes, and to up to your strength you should do Vajrasana after your both the meals. So this basically also helps in giving proper digestion, and it helps in proper metabolism of the food. Now talking about another myth is fruit salads. We being health conscious, that we should have lot of fruits. So basically fruits in combination is fine, but when fruit is consumed with milk, so that combination is deadly and it is not at all recommended in Ayurveda. So only 3 fruits, that is chiku, anjeer and mango are the fruits which can be consumed along with milk and which are healthy for the body. Rest, any type of fruit, like you talk about strawberries, you talk about pineapples, or any other fruit is not allowed with milk. So if you are consuming a lot of fruit salads, apart from these fruits which we have recommended, then in the long run it might give you any blood disorder or skin disorder. So please avoid having fruit salads in that combination. So I think so that much is enough what we have been discussing till now. Along with that, I would recommend you to have lot of black currants every day, drink lot of hot water every day. Since it is summers, you can have Shrikhand in your meal, and always start your meal with sweet. Your food should be a combination of all the 6 rasas, that is sweet, sour, salty, spicy, bitter and astringent. Always start with sweet, because when you start your meal, your digestive juices are in a natural state, so they can digest the heavier molecules. So always start with something which are heavier to digest, which are oily, which are sweet in taste, and then so on and so forth. Then you can follow sour, salty, spicy, bitter and astringent at the last. So if you follow this pattern, because we have a Western culture, we have a tendency of having sweets in the last. So this is not correct according to Ayurveda. Sweet should always be taken first, and then the lighter food or the food which is easier to digest should be taken at last. So I think so my tips will be very helpful to you for keeping you healthy and fit. So stay fit, stay blessed. Happy Mother's Day once again to all the women out there of Western Union and to the team of Western Union. Thank you so much.